guys, and welcome back to another episode of Jalen Says. And today we're with Mr. Carlyle Williams.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey,
Peace.
hey. So how are
Hello,
you doing?
everybody.
Hello. So how are you doing today?
Oh, man, fantastic. What about you?
I'm doing great. Great.
Good,
So
good, good.
to get this started off, you do a lot of these incredible things. First, you're like an actor, which is very cool. You're also a producer for these big fashion shows, and you're just this incredible guy. You're a model. It's just incredible. So, what started you off with this?
Let me tell you, watching my grandmother's show, that's how I really got into being creative, being a designer, just watching my grandmothers make quilts. They did this by hand. They made hats. They were millineries.
Wow.
We had a hair salon. We've been in business over 85 years. My family been in the hair, music, and fashion industry for 85 years.
Wow.
And by watching them sew, uh, I mean, it was just incredible, you know. And we didn't throw any clothes away. Everything was cut up. It got too small for us. It was cut up and made into quilts. I mean, she would sew it by hand, and also had a pump single sewing machine with it works by your feet, and also would get a bed of cotton that you would buy from the store and lay it between those sheets that she put together. You know, you go to the store and buy them like that now, you know, but I mean, our grandmothers, I mean, daily sew these quilts and things together, you know.
Wow.
And
Wow.
being raised in a family, you know, loving family, we all was musically inclined. We played instruments. We had an old upright uh, piano in our house, and my younger brother began to play. And my mom said, "Listen, you're gonna take some lessons." And so he learned how to play piano, but he learned by ear.
Wow. Wow. So, since you're all musically inclined, what was your favorite instrument?
Listen, my favorite instrument was the side of a chair. That's why beating drums started. I'm serious. Beating drums, playing the drums, playing, you know, and I mean, I love the drums. Then I picked up the trumpet, flugelhorn, French horn. I loved the marching band and loved the orchestra. So, you know, that was instilled in us to learn several instruments, you know, and take it to another level. We just didn't do fashion, you know. My grandfather actually was a masonry, and he built homes. He actually built our family home in Newport News, Virginia. That's where I'm originally from.
Wow.
And being able to live in different cities, I lived in New York, Chicago, then Cincinnati, Ohio, before I moved to Atlanta.
So, I have a question about the quilts. How comfortable were they?
What?
How comfortable were the quilts?
Very, very comfortable.
Mhm.
Very comfortable. We still have one. I mean, all of us were given a quilt by our grandmothers, and they were very thick because the bed of cotton was like about an inch and a half thick, and you would lay it and then put another layer on top of that, one on the bottom, one on the top, and actually sew it. Uh, it was so thick you had to sew it by hand.
Wow. 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 How
And
heavy were they?
and if you remember fashion, but
Yeah.
you was a young you wasn't even born back then, but patchwork denim was the fly thing, and denim was the hot things back in the 70s, you know, and bell bottoms and seafarer jeans. You can look them up. Seafarer jeans and which were bell-bottom jeans and like a low waist, but they were very nice jeans. And Levi's. I mean, we rock Levi's. I mean, still today, of course.
Wow. Wow. So, what was your most biggest moment when you're young that you're like, I'm gonna do something very important?
My biggest moment was when I started out in Distributed Education Clubs of America, which is DECA, in which I learned retail. I got involved with retail because I wanted to learn management.
Okay.
And so I would have like 3 classes in the morning, and then the rest was DECA, which was they assign you to stores or find your job, and that's where your other credits came in. Okay, they don't do that too much today. Back then you could learn woodwork and everything right in high school. And so I was assigned to a store and hired by this company called A&N, which is Army and Navy stores. Now, these stores actually were blueprint for these Dick's Sporting Goods and all these other stores like that because they carry everything. Um, I was a Boy Scout and grew up as a Cub Scout and was involved in that as well. But this way, you had to go get your camping stuff from A&N stores. And they also furnished the Converse Chuck Taylor's sneakers for every high school on the East Coast. There was no Foot Lockers back then. Foot Lockers originated and came out of an A&N store.
Wow.
So I was hired by A&N and worked my way up to a manager.
Wow.
Um, I was a manager in the 11th grade. And being a manager, and I was into visual. So I did windows and things like that as well. And a big bus pulled up in front of our store.
Mm-hmm.
And with my family being involved with music, my brother actually was a promoter and did concerts, the old cool jazz festivals, and on the East Coast, which they hit all the HBCUs, colleges, Virginia State. I mean, it was just concert after concert, Virginia State, Hampton University, all those schools, all along the East Coast, Howard University, all that. And my cousins actually um, were in some of the groups as well. Uh,
Okay.
Oscar Austin, who was a guitar player, bass guitar player for Rick James for many years and still is with so uh, the band. And the drummer for Parliament Funkadelic,
Wow.
Frankie Wiley, is my cousin also. And so these groups, Parliament Funkadelic, Bootsy Collins, and all of them were traveling and on tour. But when I was at A&N, uh, Kool and the Gang bus pulled up in front of our store, A&N store, and came into our store to buy some things. Uh, and I asked him, I said, hey, y'all in town, I would love to come to your concert. I'm a stylist, He said, well, what kind of look are you, you think you might need, give us. I said, what about a safari look? At that time, Jungle Boogie was the hottest song on the radio
Mm.
for Kool and the Gang. They came in and got the safari hats from A&N. I
Wow.
mean, the safari looks from the A&N store and wore it that night at the concert.
Wow.
And um, growing up, and I spent summers in New York every summer. Our family would send us, my mom and dad would send us to New York for the summer because I had a lot of cousins and aunts and uncles
Yeah.
and relatives that lived in New York. So I would spend every summer in New York. So um, I was really, really into a lot of stuff going on with the fashion and stuff like it in New York at a very young age. But on Saturdays, my aunt who was off on Saturday, and she was a registered nurse. Um, and she would take us to the movies on Saturdays, Saturday mornings. That movie was the Apollo Theater.
Wow.
In the morning, you would see the movie. Right after the movie, the announcer would say, "Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime at the Apollo." The curtain was rise, and there you have the band behind the curtain, and you would never hardly know exactly who's going to be in town, until you were there, but they have it on the marquee, of course, but people will come and just visit and walk down the side of the aisle to go
So,
into the Apollo.
so
And
every summer you went to the Apollo.
excuse me,
So every summer you went to the Apollo.
every summer,
Wow.
every summer I went to the Apollo growing up. I'm talking about at least 10 years, 15 years straight, because that's what's the ticket on Saturday. I mean, to go to the theater, and go to the Apollo. So growing up in that area and always on 125th Street, I saw all the hustle and bustles and the pimps and the players, you know, in that era, just it just fascinated me, stage wear. So that's how I really got involved with stage wear. And then when I moved to Cincinnati, Ohio, I was involved with, I was moved there to Chicago and then Cincinnati, working with Saks Fifth Avenue, because I worked with numerous stores from Dillard's, J.C. Penney's, and being a visual merchandiser, I would do the windows and things like that too. So they moved me because I open up stores for people also. That's what I do, and help people build their brand, whether it's a model, whether it's a designer. And so when I arrived in Cincinnati, it was actually it was so cold. Living in Chicago and Cincinnati, snow was like 10 to 12 inches, and so I got involved with a lot of stuff in Cincinnati, but I was very fortunate to run into a gentleman who owned a tuxedo business, an Italian gentleman, and he asked me to do his windows. From that point on, I worked for 2 years for him, and then he asked me, he said, "Well, I'm going to be retiring. Would you like to take over the business?"
Wow.
This is how Carlyle's All About Tuxedos and Gowns was born.
Wow.
I was able to purchase the business because one of my clients were a banker. He was a black banker in Cincinnati, and he would always say, "Man, you run this place just like clockwork. When you going to purchase it?" I said, "Well, when you give me the money." He said, "Well, write a business plan. Um, you know, bring it to me." That following week, I was able to purchase the business, and you had to get a number to come in my shop during prom time because everybody wanted something different, something unique. I was showing lime green, red,
Wow.
duster coats, a lot of different colors. I'm talking about 20 years, 25 years, that I had the business in Cincinnati. I had 3 stores in Cincinnati, and enjoyed my stay in Cincinnati. But I ran into a lot of great clients there. I handled the Bengals, I handled the Reds. They used to bring me in their pants so I could taper the legs of the pants for the Cincinnati Reds baseball team, and just ran into so many people, and was able to hook up with the group Midnight Star. I've been with Midnight Star since '86, being a stylist. We still talk now. I still have my clients still there. And from that, my client list just blew up and it just grew. And it's numerous groups that I work with, choirs. Oh, Reverend Timothy Wright project I did his before he died. The Charles Fold Singers, they've been around for 50 years. They just celebrated their 50th anniversary. They contacted me, and I did some black and gold suits for the men for their anniversary a month ago. actually. So I'm in still involved with the scenes. And then I started doing the fashion show tour, uh, designers on tour. That's been going on for 20 years. A lot of stuff I've been doing, people are just doing it now. They think it's something new that they're doing. I done been there, I done did that, you know. So I wanted to get involved with more movies. They shot A Rage in Harlem in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I work with the Ohio Film Commission. And they told me about it, and I auditioned for a dance part. And I was hired as a dancer to dance with in a part with Gregory Hines. And that got like the movie bug was like, wow, you know. I mean, we hung up all night long because they shot the movies at night, but it seemed like it was during the daytime because of the lights, you know.
Hmm.
And so I got involved with that, did that movie. And then the lady from the Ohio Film Commission said, Carla, if you really want to get involved with the movie industry, now this is 15 years ago. And she was like, you have to move to Atlanta. Atlanta is going to be the next Hollywood in the South.
Wow.
So I decided to sell my business, move forward, because I wanted to come back east. And that was my ticket to come to Atlanta, where I met my beautiful wife, Dr. Kiki Michelle Singleton Williams. And actually, she's a singer songwriter. And I met her actually at the Stella Awards in Nashville. I was invited down to Nashville to work with some gospel artists. Actually, Donald Lawrence was one of my musical directors in Cincinnati. He went to Conservatory of Music. I've been knowing Donald Lawrence before he even got with the Tri-City Singers. I mean, he was an awesome musician. Uh, and Cincinnati is a hotbed for gospel. So you would go to different churches, like leave your church and go to another church. It'd be like a concert. I mean, every Sunday, I'm telling you, there were so many groups, and it still is. It's like that now. So many gospel groups in that Ohio area, so many bands. I began to work with Greg Jackson and Zach. Uh, 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 L.A. Reid needed a suit for his um, auntie's funeral. Midnight Star produced their first CD, and they called me. His brother, Bryant Reed, called me and said, Carlyle, my brother needs a black suit for auntie's funeral. He didn't have a black suit. And that next week, actually, they were going to be shooting the video and then producing the new CD for the deal. And so they called me, and LA said, man, I need a black suit. I hooked him up with an Armani suit, black Armani suit. I said, here, let's rock with this. Um, he said, well, I don't want to wear no tie. I said, well, no, wear a white shirt, button it all the way up to the top, and wear your black shades. That's their look from the for the deal. And during that same session, they invited a gentleman named Kenny Edmonds from Indianapolis to play keyboards. He wasn't even a member of the group, but they brought him in to be a musician. So during that recording session, Bootsy Collins walked past the recording session and said, who's that guy with that baby face? Babyface name came from Bootsy Collins. And the rest is history.
Wow.
Every day, every time we see Babyface, he has on a white shirt a lot of time, button all the way up the top, and a nice suit on, a nice jacket, and the black shades.
Wow.
That's the look of the deal.
Wow.
So you never know how things are born and people styles are generated. And going forward, the big show, of course, this weekend coming, you know, we have the Black Beauty Expo coming up here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I'm the fashion show coordinator for the 2021 22 season. We had three, this is our third show, and we'll be going to other cities. We have 15 awesome designers going to be, I mean, slaying the runway, and over 80 models is going to be ripping the runway.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be looking for you now, subject down.
Yeah.
This young man here, he modeled for me. It might have been his very first fashion show. But
Oh,
he been modeling for me for quite a while. He done got a little bigger now, so he might have outgrown being a model now. He's a TV host now. He might be out of modeling. He done grown so much. But I just love having you to be a part of our events.
yeah. Well, I have some questions about stuff that you said earlier. First, you said you were a Boy Scout.
Yes, yes, and a Cub Scout. And a Cub Scout. Yes, yes. I, all the black churches actually, a lot of black churches on the East Coast, they had, you know, I mean, they believed in bringing kids up the right way. I mean, you you would go outside and play. You won't sit in the house with a computer. You had to go outside and play basketball, play sports. Find something to do. So we were encouraged to join the Boy Scout, be a part of our church Boy Scout and Cub Scout, because you went hiking, you went fishing, you went boating, because we were on the East Coast. So in Virginia, there's water everywhere. So you, you went boating and had a great life. And
How often did you fish?
huh?
How often did you fish?
Oh, listen, I love fish. I mean, because we you can go crabbing or fishing like 4 blocks from our house in Virginia, because we live right by the James River actually, uh,
Wait,
and
what's your biggest fish or thing you caught?
oh gee, no, it's a bass is about this big. It's the largest fish I've caught. Um, but I'm not an avid fisherman because I would rather just eat it. Just because I love seafood. I
Not
love
the type
seafood.
that catches it and let it go. Yeah, fish is for sport. You're the type that catches it and eats it.
Listen, it's a sport. It's a hobby. I mean, I haven't done, I haven't gone fishing in a long time. So, because I'm extremely busy with working on so many projects, and then I we just purchased a new house, and my wife and I, and we're we're just really excited because we have I wanted an unfinished basement so I could design the basement myself and create my own atmosphere. So I have 5 rooms that I'm working on in my basement, and each one's going to be very unique and different. I'm building a studio for my wife can record. She just finished her new project in Nashville. She got signed to a label in Nashville, and we just shot the video in Nashville. So the song is entitled "Heaven and Earth." It's a beautiful song. Um, I mean, she could write a song. I mean, in 15 minutes if she
Wow.
go into a booth. That's how. I mean, when she hear the music and the melody, she already had the words, and she just go at it. I'm very proud of her and what she has accomplished and what she's doing. She has 4 degrees, and in education and ministry. Uh, I knew our foundation is called Karki Global Inc. Ministries, and you can catch us on YouTube, and we have the #1 online radio show. Yes, www.wkmc 92.1. WKMC 92.1. Check us out, download the app, and take us with you everywhere. It's 24/7, just all music, just all music. And we're just really ecstatic that this is our second year being #1, because we used to have a morning show, she and I and uh, Kiki Michelle and Mr. Carlyle, and but those morning shows like 6 a.m. in the morning, that no, you know, getting up early in the morning, doing a radio show. I mean, that's it's okay. I don't mind getting up and stuff like that. Doing a radio show, that was fine for a minute. So,
For a
we had
minute.
to like
You know,
move
I
to the
really
next.
enjoyed it for a minute. It's
Excuse
not.
me?
So you were like, I really enjoyed it for a
Yeah,
minute. It's
yeah.
not.
I mean, it's great. I mean, it's good to do, but I have other things that I wish to accomplish and do. So, I mean, and then I'm constantly designing different looks, and working on different projects, So, we stay pretty busy. We stay pretty busy, and then the acting bud, of course, you know. Did you see me in Hawkeye? Did you catch
No,
me in?
yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, you had to check out Hawkeye. And I I'm I'm in Black Panther. or- oh gee, Coming to America too. The new one, Sleepless. Wow, so many
I
movies.
actually was in Coming to America too.
Excuse me.
I was actually in Coming to America too.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I
Not
was I was
excuse
at
me.
the scene in the funeral. At the funeral.
I was in the scene where I mean this part didn't really get put into the movie, but I got a story about the rabbits and the bears by with
Yeah, that was an awesome, awesome movie. I mean, we got to see everybody from Gladys Knight coming on, and just being able to see everybody. I mean, Salt and Pepper. It was an awesome, awesome movie. I really enjoyed that. And Black Panther was great. I mean, being on the cast and the wardrobe for the Coming to America. Ruth Carter is off the chain. She is a outstanding, outstanding designer, creative force. And matter of fact, she's up for numerous awards, of course, again, and winning an Oscar for it. She does everything for Eddie Murphy. She's always with Eddie Murphy. Matter of fact, she went to Hampton University. She graduated from Hampton University in Virginia,
wow.
and we remember her when she was working at Colonial Williamsburg. That's how far we go back. And my brother did Amistad. My brother's an actor also. He was in Amistad too as a merchant, and worked with her then. And they already knew each other, by doing plays. Because he's in Shades of Grey, and he did the local plays. The Wizard of Oz. He played in that, and she worked on a lot of stuff in Virginia. When she was going to school at Hampton University before she got really really big. Great person, great person. And we connected when we was on the set. Several times. At Coming to America too, and we just laughed. She said, "Yeah, you remember
Yeah.
this and remember that?" I said, "Yes, yes, yes."
So what was your most fun time acting?
My most what?
What was your like funnest time acting?
Uh, at Coming to America?
No, just acting in general.
Oh, the best was Coming to America too, and then uh, Guardian of the Galaxy was just crazy. That was a unique setting. Just all the different things that Guardian of the Galaxy has, and the different looks and the creatures. And you like,
What part were you in?
I was in the bar scene in Guardian of the Galaxy. Yes, when all the aliens and all them. I was I was like a nomad, like dressed, and it was very good. And catch me in the new Hawkeye. Well, and also um, She-Hulk. She-Hulk is coming. Yes, She-Hulk.
Okay.
Marvel Comics She-Hulk.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Need to see it. Can't wait to see it.
That's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be an awesome movie. Hmm.
So you've been in a lot of Marvel movies. How much of a Marvel fan are you?
You know what? Growing up, my brother, oldest brother, used to buy comic books for a nickel and was I mean,
There's them.
they were 5 cents and 10 cents. That's how far back he had been collecting them.
Wow, but
And
does he still have them?
oh, I don't have any of them. They're gone.
Does he have any?
Excuse me?
Did he keep any of them?
Yes, I had a chest full of them. A chest full of them. Yes, yes. But he passed away, and I don't know exactly what happened, to the chest. I think my grandmother actually got a hold of them. Now, what she did with them, I don't know. Because they were at her house for a very
Depending,
long time.
yeah, depending on what types there are, they're like worth a lot.
Yes, 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 yes. I mean, now they when you buy them, they're already in binders, and covers, when you purchase them now, especially when you go to a trade show, that they are very, very, very expensive.
So, how much do you know about Marvel, though?
Oh, I'm not a Marvel hero or comic book hero. I just like doing the movies, and being a part of any any movie. Actually, I just finished Memories with Samuel L. Jackson. That's going to be an awesome movie. That'll be coming out sometime, I guess, later this year.
Wow.
The ballet The Valet is coming out. I'm on that. And I was just on The Promised Land. I was on The Promised Land last last week. That's a new a series on ABC, The Promised Land. Check it out. Mhm. And Queens. I was on Queens.
Yeah,
That
you
was
know,
nice working with Brandy and Eve. Man, we had a ball. It wasn't up at a party that on that shoot.
wow.
Live concert.
Watching that
Eve,
show right now, actually.
huh?
My mom's watching that show right now.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Queens is very good. Brandy did an awesome job on TV at the in Los Angeles. She sung uh, on the championship game on Sunday. She did an awesome job. And where's my oh, for all you that don't know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still wait a minute, let me get it together.
Okay, but I have one.
I'm still a Bengals fan, diehard Bengals fan, even though I live in Atlanta. But we're going to the Super Bowl. We are on our way to the Super Bowl. My goodness, since I mean '88, and so I'm repping, my Bengals team all the way to LA because I'll be doing the Super Bowl weekend fashion show
I
in
do not.
LA.
I I do not know a lot about football, so I don't know that team. I don't know many teams, but
Well, I mean, hey, just root for the Bengals. Just remember the Bengals, Cincinnati Bengals. Yes.
okay, okay, okay. I have one question. What was the most drastic thing you wore, like out of the top thing you wore when you were modeling?
Let me tell you, one of my clients, and I did his I did his wedding. I
Mhm.
did his wedding in Philly.
This seems like a good one because you can't stop laughing.
Well, it was a signature piece. Okay, Allen Iverson. I did Allen Iverson wedding in Philadelphia. It was one of the biggest weddings ever. I did 25 tuxedos for his wedding. Um, I mean, all the way down to the Gator shoes. I ordered the Gator shoes. I had them shipped to Philadelphia. The Gator shoes cost $1,500 each, and those were yes, those were the gifts for his groomsmen. Plus, I designed a custom made, the accessories, and I mean, it was an awesome. And plus, he had a circus there. He had a circus there for the kids while the wedding was going on.
Wow.
When I arrived in Philadelphia, they had to move me twice because of the paparazzi, and everybody was like, had found out I was there and I was the designer and the outfitter for his wedding. And they were following me everywhere. They were camped outside. I mean, the week of I arrived on Wednesday and was there, and the wedding was on Friday. So we were having a fitting and also a party on Thursday.
Wow.
They found out about it and they were there. So they had to move after I steamed out. I mean, I had like 5 boxes of that I shipped to the hotel. And I took everything out and steamed it out, had it all nice, lined it up, the shoes, socks, everything, even cologne for them. And don't you know I had to pack everything up and throw it in? Yes, I had to throw it back in the limo, and they had to move me because too many people knew I was there, right?
Well, I need to tell you something real quick. They're not stopping. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm one of them.
What? I
Yes.
know. I already know. I already know. The paparazzi is everywhere, man. I'm telling you, because they were just, I mean, everywhere. Plus, on the morning of the wedding, he added 2 more people. He needed me to outfit 2 more people and make up 2 more outfits the day of the wedding. At 10 o'clock in the morning, I get a call. I,
When was the wedding?
where?
When was the wedding?
When was it? It was, well, how many years ago? It's been a few years ago.
No, like what time was it? Because you
Oh,
said
the wedding was at 6. The wedding was at that evening around 6 o'clock. And so 10 o'clock in the morning, I get a call from Mo, and he was like loud. They call me loud sometimes as short for Carlyle. I need you. We need something serious because they just gave me that black card and said, just whatever I need to get, just do it, make it happen. Okay. So, so that morning I had to put together 2 more tuxedos and plus find the shoes, the Gator shoes. I had to call my rep in Texas where the shoes were shipped from to find out where I could get a pair of shoes in Philly. So that same day that I go to get the shoes, I make a call just to see if they got the right size. They said, well, the shoes are $1,500, but we give you a discount like that. And I was like, okay, no problem. It didn't matter how much they cost. I just had to get the shoes and make sure they were the same, you know. So after I did all that, outfitted everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had to be different. So I fell in there with my orange suit on. I was on all orange. Okay, this is all orange. Now
The high C man.
shoes. I mean, the suit was orange. I was in all orange. That way, you could spot me in the crowd in case they needed me. Okay, I couldn't be like, "Where's Mr. Carlyle? Where's?" You know, they said, "Okay, if you need something, see the gentleman in the orange." You know, so I mean, from everybody, everything had to go through me. I mean, it was an awesome, awesome time. They had helicopters following the I mean, the limos.
Helicopter?
He had 10 limousines, uh, four, uh, four 50, 50 passenger uh, buses, because a lot of people, his family came up from Virginia and out of town, so he had buses for them.
But you said helicopters.
Yes, helicopter. The news people followed us to find out where, yes, where the wedding was, because it was a secret where the wedding was. So it was in Voorhees, Jersey. And so we had to drive over the bridge from over in Philly to Jersey. And just, I mean, they found out where it was. Before we can even arrive, it was lines of people. I mean, crowds of people lined it up all the way on the white picket fence going to the White House, this place called the White House. And actually, they had all the servants. They had about 50 servants lined it up in front. Yeah, in tuxedos, everything, all the way down the steps to greet us as we came. I mean, people were pounding on the limo. And then also, it was crazy, man. I'm telling you, they were just, I mean, hysteric, to see Allen Iverson and all of us there, man, because he had all the ball players came, different ball players came. And so as I'm getting into the elevator to go on one floor, Coach Brown was in the elevator. He said, "Man, I hope he don't show up in no jumpsuit, you for his wedding." And it was sort of a joke, but he didn't know who I was. So I turned and said, "Don't worry, they're all in tuxedos." And coach like looked at me like, "Oh wow, okay." you know, they were like, "Wow," because they didn't know what Allen Iverson may do. You know what I'm saying? Because he was very unpredictable sometimes. When he shows up.
He's like, hopefully he doesn't go out with his lucky jersey or anything like that.
Right. And because of course he had gotten his hair fresher braided. I mean, because he had get his hair fresher braided almost every day. And so and his hairstylist, she goes everywhere. Where if he travels, she goes with him. His wife, family, or whoever, and his entourage. I mean, they were known for that. They were the bad boys. In basketball.
Wow. Wow. So that must have been great.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. It was the biggest wedding, that I ever did, throughout my career. I've done a lot of weddings, and I've trained over 1,000 models worldwide and worked with some of everybody.
Wow.
Beverly Johnson, I was on her team in Baltimore, worked with her. I mean, just so many numerous people. Every year I'm featured at New York Fashion Week. I'm so blessed to be able to do these things, and be a feature designer, and then I get called upon to do the Super Bowl fashion show was the icing on the cake. So uh, this is my fourth year doing it. I did the show in Houston. I did also the Atlanta uh, Super Bowl weekend show, and then I did Miami. The Miami show, we did it on a cruise ship, and we cruised to the Bahamas. It was awesome. It was a beautiful cruise. The show was great. And then I was asked to do the show in LA. So I'm looking forward to that.
You have a lot of stories.
Yes, yeah, and we're working on so many projects. My wife is awesome. Her new project. A couple of songs. One of the songs was did by Felton Pilot of Confunction. He produced some of her music also. So she's been working with some great producers too.
So what do you want to do after you retire and
Retire?
yeah.
Retire? What is that? No,
Wow.
no, you don't retire. You just get better.
Wow. Okay.
You just get better. If the Lord bless you to be on this earth as long as I have and the many years to come. I mean, during this time of COVID, I mean, it is crazy. You here today, you can be gone today. You never know, and it's crazy out here. Society is just turned upside down. But you better keep the Lord first. And this is just a test. I think the Lord has this. The Bible speaks it. Famine and diseases coming. It's a time and a place. Read your Bible. You will see these things foretold. So it's things going on right now. They already been forecast. I mean, uh, this is to wake society up. You took prayer out of schools. Yeah, I mean, you just changed society, period. Disrespecting people didn't believe in God. But who's the first person they call when they are in trouble or sick or dying? Lord help me, or God, you know. So you have to stay prayed up. I mean, and just enjoy life, man. You know. You as a young man, you got a lot ahead of you. I love what you're doing. Keep up the good work. I mean, you got a strong, just team, your mom behind you doing great things and being there for you. Don't take it for granted, and don't get the big head. Oh, I'm not going to. No, no. Listen to your mom. You still a kid. She's still a parent. These kids nowadays, they so disrespectful. They don't respect their elders. They don't care about old people. They're hurting people out on the street for nothing, killing people senselessly, you know. So you never know. A bullet does not have his name. Doesn't have anybody's name on it. It could be stray and just kill anybody. You can see that. It's in the news, you know.
Well, I have one last question before we have to, because I didn't know it's almost time for this to be up. But I have one question. What do you want your legacy to be? What do you want people to know you as?
Mr. Carlyle was a great person and honest and real. I have helped so many people. In the industry, and I was taught to pull people up, and going to the great, I mean, artist, he ain't heavy, you know. Pull up people as you go, I don't look down on anyone, you know. You have so many haters out there. They are mad at you because you do this. You mad at you go right. They're mad at you if you go left. And people, road rage is something else, So it's crazy out there. Just be careful, Be mindful, You got a lot to live for.
Wow, wow, that was very inspirational.
It's real, man. Life is real. There's a life after death, and you just got to be ready for it, You got to be ready for it.
So now I'm gonna do some other questions about more your personal than your business and stuff like that. So what do you do when you're not working? What do you do? Like, do you cook? Do you?
Let me tell you something.
Mhm.
I'm one of the best cooks around. Yes, that's right. See, people, Dr. Kiki is in the background. She's listening to us, uh, and I love cooking. I cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I do it. I love to cook. I mean, whatever, omelets. I mean, pancakes. I cook from scratch. Uh, I love seafood. We just had a seafood broil yesterday. Everything. Crab legs, shrimps, mussels.
Wow.
And yes. Steak. We had steak and eggs in the morning. Grits. Grits. My favorite is actually I love oatmeal. Oatmeal and raisin toast. Start your day off, with oatmeal. You know, you have to eat healthy now. You can't eat a whole lot of junk. And you just got to change your eating habits as you get older. You live longer. You live longer. And my family is so blessed, man. We've been through so many things in our lifespan. Um, yeah, my brother actually was hit by SUV, man, the day before Christmas 2 years ago, man, and he was drugged several feet because he went out in the street to help somebody who had fell on a bicycle. An older gentleman had fell on a bicycle. This happened in Virginia 2 years ago.
Wow.
This gentleman fell on a bicycle and was in the middle of the street. My brother went to help him get up. A speeding car came around the corner and hit both of them, struck my brother, killed the gentleman that was on the ground. My brother's back now, walking again after being laid up in the hospital for a year.
Wow.
My brother was a musician. He's a musician, played the piano, organ, all that. Don't you know he's back playing the organ? He couldn't move his hands. He couldn't move his feet. He was pinned up. I mean, just like up in the air. I mean, everything. His face was scarred. Back had tracks on it.
Did
Man,
they find out who did it?
excuse me.
Did they find out who did
Yeah,
it?
yeah. They found out who did it. And the gentleman actually, you know, depression sinks into people, and you never know who's depressed and who's not. You, I mean, it's in the news all the time. I mean, uh, you know, Miss USA just jumped off the roof in New York, man, of her apartment. This girl she was from North Carolina, man, and
Mm.
we were Facebook friends, on Instagram, and I was gonna invite her to come to my Durham, North Carolina Fashion Week show, and in April of
Yeah.
last year, but we had the pandemic going on, so we had to cancel the show. All right. She's from North Carolina, and come to find out that she jumps off her apartment. She had a whole lot going for her, but you never know what's going on in people's mind, and how they're living, bro. I tell you, you just gotta be careful. And then another friend of ours who was a neighbor, they found him dead because he was depressed. He had lost his job. He had, oh my gosh, he had lost his job and lost his mother.
Mm.
It just sunk in. You know what I mean? And they found he took his life.
Mm.
So you never know, man, what's going on in people's minds, man. You just gotta pray for people, and be a blessing to others.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give you this one tidbit that a lot of people don't even know. Mr. Carlyle has been in this game a long time in the fashion. Have you ever been in the Goodwill Industries before? You ever been to Goodwill before?
Oh yeah.
Okay. You see how Goodwill is set up? Okay. I was hired to be a consultant to Goodwill Industries, and I work for Goodwill Industries to help them to better serve their customers and productivity. I came up with a we came up with a color code system. When you go in Goodwill Industries, okay, it would took you like an hour to find something and it was all dirty at first. Okay. When you go to Goodwill Industries and go in thrift shopping, okay, no, we're going to clean this place up. We're going to color code the clothes, starting from light to dark. Okay. We're gonna put the jeans all together so you can find the jeans. If you need a white shirt, you can find a white shirt and be out of there in 15 minutes. To increase the productivity, I have created that concept. When you go in there, you see them in smocks, you see them in uniforms. The place is much cleaner. You see displays now. Mr. Carlyle brought that to the table. I'm talking about 15 years ago.
Wow.
They've been doing it ever since.
Wow. That's wow.
There's a lot of things people don't know what I've done, where I've been. So I shared it. It be in my movie when it comes out.
Nice. 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 Okay.
Yes, my book is coming too, and my wife's new book is coming, and
Nice.
and we just look forward to some great things. I got a lot of stuff written down. The list of clientele that I've done Bobby Womack. I mean, created look for him for the Cool Jazz Festival. I was a consultant for the Cool Jazz Festival in Ohio. It used to be on the field with two stages. My friend used to own the limousine business, black-owned limousine company. He had a fleet of at least 30 limousines and was in charge of the school buses in Cincinnati. Can you imagine how many school buses for the Cincinnati public schools and a black person owns the business? He was one of my best friends.
Wow.
Yes, Mr. Washington, Jim Washington. And when they had different shows, when people come to town, from James Brown to mega stars,
Wow.
he would be the one that picked them up in the limousine, his limousine company.
Wow.
He told me, he said, he called me baby bruh. Baby bruh, you need a limousine for your business. Because my tuxedo business. He called me up, he said, come down here and pick out one of these limousines.
Wow.
I came down to the place, I picked up a blue, it was one of a kind, blue limousine, stretch limousine for my business.
Okay. Okay. So you have a lot of connections everywhere.
And if I had a client or whatever, I would pick them up from the hotel. If you needed a limousine for the prom, I had a limousine for the prom that you could rent.
Okay.
A lot of firsts, a lot of things, just to make your business, unique and different.
Wow.
I mean, Rod Stewart parked his bus in front of my shop, and his band members came to purchase stuff for that concert that night
Yeah.
because I came up with rent a suit. Rent a suit is when you lose your luggage, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Wait, you don't have all this money to run to buy a suit if you got an interview. Your shoes, everything. Since I was right next door to Procter and Gamble, I created a rent a suit because a gentleman came in. He had lost his luggage, was going to a meeting for Procter and Gamble. He said, "Man," he said, "where can I get a suit for? I need it in an hour. I happen to have his size."
Rent a suit.
Okay. I went in the back, put the suit together, and rented the shoes.
Rent a suit.
Yes,
Nice.
rent a suit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
I started a 4T, size 4T, which is a toddler, to a 77 men's.
Wow.
77. That's how big a size I go to for rental. Call 470-418-7277
Okay.
for all your needs.
Rent a suit. Nice. Well, actually, we're actually out of time. Actually, well, that went by pretty fast. You have a lot of incredible stuff going on. I can't wait to see you very soon. It's going to be very soon, and you. Wow. But before we have to go, can you just tell everyone where they could find more about you, find all your information, all of their rent a suit needs, and stuff like that?
I am Mr. Carlyle. You can follow me on Instagram. IAMMRCARLYLE. You can follow me at I am Mr. Carlyle, or you can follow me at Mr. Carlyle W. My last name is Williams. Or follow me at Carlyle E. Williams on Facebook. Now I got 10,000 followers, and I'm over my limit, so I can't bring you on to Facebook, anything like that. But you can follow me on Instagram. But it's CARLYLE, middle initial E, Williams, WILLIAMS, and pick up Kiki Michelle new single and check her out as well. I am Kiki Michelle. IAMKIKIMICHELL. She will be hosting the show this weekend.
Wow. Wow. That's pretty great. Wow. So thank you for getting on. Thank you very much. Can you say in the link while I do my outro?
Absolutely.
Thank you. And thank you to the wonderful audience out there in the audience. Thank you very much. Also, thank you a lot because we're at 406 subscribers, which is incredible. Thank you for reaching the 400 subscriber goal. I really appreciate it. But now we need to go to 500 subscribers. Can't wait. Please, I hope you guys can do this. I know you guys can. So thank you very much. Make sure to subscribe. Subscribe. If the button is red, click it and subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. It really supports me, helps me a lot. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, which helps me a lot. So thank you guys. Thank you very much. I really appreciate all your support and everything. I can't believe it. We're at 406 subscribers already, which is so much. So thank you a lot. Also, JALENSAYS TV, now live. Whatever media type needs you need. It's basically on everything. Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, iOS, Android, Samsung TV, Apple TV, basically everywhere, and it's not even that expensive on the market, and it won't have like this JALENSAYS marker or JALENSAYS TV marker on it. It'll be your own thing, your own show, whatever you do, even if it's like cooking, sewing, interviewing, modeling, fashion designs, book writing, anything like that. It's for you. So please, if you guys do want to contact us, it's 678-527-9826. And for Gmail, it's jalensaysmedia@gmail.com. And our Facebook, if you want to contact us, is Jalen Says TV. So thank you guys a lot. Thank you a lot. Thank you very much for all your support. And guys, if you want to donate and just help us out with getting some of our equipment, Cash App, $sign Jalen Says helps us out a lot with getting a lot of stuff that we need to do what we're doing, because we're getting ready to do more stuff outside of my studio. So thank you guys a lot. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe. If that button is red, click it and then push subscribe. Thank you a lot. Ring the bell too. It sends you when my videos are live. And like the video. Thank you very much. And guys, stay